Hello, dear friends. Welcome to another edition of HerStance, where we believe that a different perspective can unlock the true significance of women's contributions to history, and by re-examining their stories, we will inspire and empower today's young leaders and influencers to take a new stance on women's place in society today. It's Christmas time as I make this video, and there's no better time to learn about Mary of Nazareth. There are many Marys in the Bible, but this Mary is most known as the Virgin Mary. She is a figure revered across faiths and is celebrated as the Mother of God by many Christians. In Islam, she's honored in Surah 19 of the Quran. Anticipated in the Old Testament, she's called New Eve, Mother of my Lord, and Ark of the Covenant. The New Testament unfolds her story, the sequel to the Old Testament's prophecies. Early Christian writings, like the Proto-Evangelium of James, detail her selection. The title Theotokos, God-bearer, was bestowed upon her, affirming her unique role. Declared perpetual virgin centuries later, Mary became a symbol of hope and a model for women. Then during the Renaissance, she was depicted as the Madonna, embodying grace and beauty, inspiring art and devotion throughout history. But let's move beyond the Christmas story. We often see Mary as a passive, virginal figure. But what if we looked at her as a historical person? Imagine a young mother, pregnant out of wedlock, carrying an extraordinary child. This Mary wasn't just a symbol of purity. She was a fierce mother, fiercely devoted to her son, regardless of the challenges he faced. By the end of this video, I hope that you will agree that we should be celebrating this Mary not for her virginity, but for her unconditional love and the unwavering strength she displayed in raising a son who would change the world. Imagine Nazareth, a tiny Galilean town ruled by the brutal Herod Antipas. Mary, born to a barren couple, grew up in a temple, sheltered from the world. The story goes that through a contest, she married Joseph, a humble carpenter, many years older than her. Life was hard. They lived in a crowded courtyard, toiling in the fields, facing Roman taxes, and the constant threat of violence. Mary, like many young women of her time, married young. And I'm talking 13 to 16 years old. She gave birth to Jesus during a Roman census, likely in a humble stable. This wasn't a fragile woman. She was strong, resourceful, and deeply connected to her faith. She spoke Aramaic, heard Latin and Greek, and navigated a world of hardship and hope. In the Christmas story told in the New Testament, in the Gospel of Matthew, Joseph has a dream in which an angel of the Lord appears to him and says that he should not be afraid to take Mary as his wife, because the child conceived in her is by the Holy Spirit and fulfills the prophecy that says, "Look, The virgin shall become pregnant and give birth to a son, and they shall name him Emmanuel, which means God is with us. And so he did marry her, and they named him Jesus, meaning the Lord saves. The Christmas story in Matthew's Gospel hinges on a key translation. The Hebrew word Alma, meaning young woman, was translated into Greek as Parthenos, meaning virgin. This subtle shift, made centuries earlier, transformed Mary's story. Virginity wasn't about physical purity in ancient times. It symbolized innocence and a life untouched by the world. Understanding this nuance helps us see Mary not just as a symbol of purity, but as a young woman embarking on a remarkable journey. Now, following the Jewish tradition, Mary and Joseph circumcised Jesus, and then Mary went to the temple for purification, offering 2 turtle doves. And there, Simeon prophesied both Jesus' greatness and his suffering, foretelling that a sword would pierce Mary's own soul. Very metaphorical. Now, beyond the nativity, Mary's story continues. She witnessed Jesus' ministry, experiencing both joy and profound sorrow. At the cross, Jesus entrusted her care to his beloved disciple. This poignant moment reveals the depth of their bond, mother and son. Mary was a woman of unwavering faith, even when those closest to her doubted Jesus. She was his first disciple, urging others to heed his words. Now Luke, another gospel in the Bible, Luke tells us that she was present with the apostles in the upper room, part of a vibrant community of believers. Now, while not detailed in the New Testament, tradition holds that Mary's death was a peaceful falling asleep, followed by bodily assumption into heaven. And we figure that must have been around 50 years old, which was quite long for a woman in these times. So let's challenge the traditional interpretations of Mary as a passive, idealized woman. Her image has been manipulated through history, from pagan conversions to reinforcing male dominance. The feminist critique of Mary as a domesticated goddess is very intriguing. Why should we abandon the divine feminine? Mary's servitude to God and her discipleship to Jesus are often misinterpreted as weakness. But Mary was a woman of agency, navigating hardship with courage and resilience. Katarina Halks reminds us that virginity is an attitude and not just abstinence. Mary, even at a young age, demonstrated remarkable maturity. So what does this mean for us today? We celebrate Mother's Day, but why only on one day? Women bring forth hope every single day. 11,000 babies are born daily in the United States. 80% of single-parent households are led by mothers. 80%. And many mothers work tirelessly to support their families. If we truly revere Mary as a fierce mother, a mother who suffered alongside her son, let's support today's mothers. Let's create work policies that support working mothers. Let's expand affordable childcare and community programs. Let's provide safety and legal services for mothers in need. Let's extend compassion and understanding to all mothers. In the spirit of Christmas, let's strive for a world where every mother feels supported and valued. This is the true message of peace on earth and goodwill towards all. I welcome your comments, and I hope you'll join me for another edition of HerStance.